Oh, hey, there you are. I've been waiting for you. Part 5 of Expedition 33 with the Therapist. It's here. I'm ready, and I hope you are too. Leave a thumbs up to let me know you're ready. Leave a comment down below. Come hang out with us live sometime. I appreciate how many of you have popped by live from the YouTube channel. It's been great to have you. I hope you've been enjoying the playthrough as much as I've been enjoying bringing it to you. I will continue to pause it a whole lot of times when I can. But let's, screw that. Let's go fight this big thing right here. What do you say, Mael? What do you say, Lune? Or this guy.
Merde. This one is gigantic.
Avoid those at all costs.
Also, for those of you that continue to ask me this question, despite having mentioned it a few times, I'm playing the game on ultra-wide. It's not a YouTube issue, it's not a you issue. I'm playing on ultra-wide, and so the edges are cut off. And it doesn't give me an option to bring the letterbox in. You just gotta deal with it. Alright. I promise there's not a lot of interesting stuff over there. At least for the sake of my playthrough. Look at that thing. That thing's nutty. Oh! Alright, she said don't fight him. But this is a little baby. Where's your weak spot, big guy? Is it your dick? Oh, it's Bourgeon.
Take him down.
The storm is coming. Oh, yeah.
This thing's got a lot of health.
Get ready.
Oh, alright. You can't dodge that. Maybe you can, and I just didn't. Spit her out, dude. Come on.
Okay.
Get ready.
Exhausted is a status effect that prevents the character from gaining AP from any source. Crushing combo.
Okay.
For those who come after.
Bourgeon spits out Lune. Oh, what's up, Lune? Welcome back. Oh, oops. Whatever. Fine. I mean, fighting the big one might be a little tough. Flesh of this Neveron still feels alive. Or Jean's skin. In there, is that a little kitchenette in there? Oh, what's up, dude? Oh, you're running away? 48. I can't rest here, huh? Can't have a little siesta here? No, I can't. Want that. 12 points available? Holy shit. Wow, there's a lot over here. Wish I knew. Port de Lumière, Tour Eiffel. So are we in Paris? Is Paris like super fragmented?
This building has a certain melancholy beauty.
Yeah.
A lone outpost.
We should have listened to what she was saying. First strike.
Take cover!
All right. Tell me again what you were saying, Mael. Certain melancholy about the building and all that. All right, I don't need that thing groaning at me this whole time. Hey! All right. Vibrating, which means I should be able to. What is going on here? Oh.
Nice.
New Picto, versatile. After a free aim hit, base attack damage increased by 50% for one turn. Actually seems pretty decent for Gustav. Because I do that a lot. This one. Nice. Roll out of it like Link. All right. Thanks for the kind words, Firewall. What's going on here? Oh, what's up, big guy?
Fight.
Gain the lead. I want to be Gustav. Why do I switch to Gustav? Alright. Already shot this one.
Please survive.
Ooh, look at all these newspapers. Exposition. Le Grand Café de Lumière au Vor Cis Porte. I can't speak French, man. I'm not even gonna try. My mouth just can't do French movements. Aside from kissing, that is. Ask my wife. Firewall, thanks for the sub. There we go. This is what I wanted. Two-stop action right here. Bow!
Feel the burn.
I'm ready.
Okey-dokey. Oh, you guarding that thing? Not anymore. Oh shit, I didn't realize there was a second one over here. Now we do.
Feel the burn. Danger. Well, that will
Energy
help.
tint shard.
Well, that will help.
Color of the... I'm gonna have all these items hoarded by the end of this because I don't use any of them. We know, Dr. Mick. Wordsmith, thanks for the gift and subs. Where do I want to go? Here? I don't want to go the correct way. I want to go the... I want to go the wrong way so that I can see side stuff. Oh, you can fast travel. How about that? All right. The hell? Oh, my wife's texting me. I guess, actually, I don't know, usually we run into bonfires when we're going the way that the mission wants you to go. Which that definitely is. That's a big old arena. We're not gonna do that yet. They're like, yo, save. You're gonna need it. We're gonna do this bit.
Nice.
Alright, don't need to go down there yet. Saw a little ladder over here. Alright, this one goes down. Or is this how I go back? Oh, that's how I go back. Okay. Oh, look at this thing. You get to do a tickle fight with us? What's up, dude? Chromatic Rubidol. Oh.
Feel the burn. Gustav.
Oh shit! Whoa, 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 whoa!
I'll do it.
That's a weird attack to parry.
yeah.
I'm in big trouble. I'm in danger.
From fire. Ah! Ready to parry.
All right. Now that I kind of have a sense of it. Give me Gustav, please.
Danger.
Why?
Let us stain them.
Because he doesn't have any, like, discernible... Alright.
Ready to parry.
Oh, man.
Let the ink flow.
That is rough.
Here.
Get ready.
Dodge, Gustav.
Not looking good.
Get ready.
I'm better.
Brace yourselves.
I can do it. Finesse and precision.
Let us stain them. Feel the burn.
For those who come after. Lune, watch out!
Here we go. New weapon. Troubadim. music's kind of neat.
An advantage.
Energizing break plus plus 3 AP on breaking a target. Oh, it's another one of these things. All right, that'll work. Alrighty. Rest and refresh. Let's go to this thing, whatever this is going to be. There's no way I don't get attacked here. Probably not the best idea. Ooh, little glimpse of Sophie. That's probably an obvious one. That flowers would be something that he is conditioned around as it relates to the death of his ex-girlfriend. But I think that's a pretty decent representation of how quick and sometimes fleeting a trigger can be. Where, you know, we talked about this at length in previous episodes, so I'm not going to go too far into it, but essentially, like, he sees the rose, and that's a stimuli that evokes a pretty significant response. Yeah, I mean, arguably from everybody, given just the role that flowers play in this giant cultural event. It would be very hard not to have some kind of classically conditioned response to that. But seeing that little glimpse of Sophie there, I mean, yeah, of course he's going to have a memory of that in seeing that flower. Now, what that does to him is the more interesting part of it, in the sense of, like, what does that trigger evoke from him? So does he try to suppress it? Does he dissociate? Does he have, like, this kind of invigorative call to action? Like, what's the action item that follows that? It's an important thing to understand because you gain windows into your responses when you look for patterns. And so if flowers evoke a particular response given the association he has, then that's how we find how to manage a trigger if it's something that leads to something destructive. Like if Gustav, for example, in the next 10 minutes is super mean to everybody and really, like, manipulative and nasty, then and we start to see that anytime there's a flower nearby, all of a sudden that comes up. We're like, oh, there's some real anger there. And what does that mean? Where does it come from? What are you doing to engage that anger when you feel it? Potentially, you may not realize this, but when you're around red flowers, you take it out on the people around you, maybe without even realizing it. That's where we get into the real nitty-gritty of people's responses to things and can work to try to help them engage more healthily with the stimuli itself and with the people around you and all that stuff. Right, Dr. Jiro?
Watch out!
Or is he potentially compromised here because he just saw that flower, he's gone into the recesses of his memories, and now the whole group is in danger because he's not available. And this is where understanding the way that your reactions and responses to things, particularly when they're patterned, understanding the way that that can compromise a group is incredibly important, because these things are all very systemic. Are we in danger now? That way, if the party knows, oh shit, okay, we're by a flower, he's potentially not going to be helpful to us, or we need to make sure that we do some work around being more conscientious in reprocessing flowers, because then Gustav's more available in a survival situation. Like, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do with this.
You're right.
You took my rose. Yeah, you picked the rose.
It's coming.
All right. Who gets the first strike? Goblin. All right. Apparently that's not a jump thing. See what goes on here.
Let the ink flow.
Rose flowers. Oh shit. So we gotta fight those two, huh? Ah, that last one. A little off time. Alright, that's fine.
I'm ready. Let's spill some ink.
That
Brace
was not
yourselves.
particularly...
Got up.
coming. Lightning, strike!
Let's spill some ink.
Take cover! Feel the burn!
For those who come after.
Jesus. Big number there.
Gustav, wait! It seems peaceful. As long as we don't touch the flowers.
Yeah, let's not get too sentimental. It's still a painter's creation.
Big ups to Lune on that. It would be really... Look, okay. We're all slaves to this thing. Okay? Our brain, it's limited. Yes, humans are sophisticated, but we're not that sophisticated. We were just in a ridiculously high arousal event, which generally means that your prefrontal cortex is mostly useless unless you have some level of training and preparedness for the engagement that you're in. This is why people who do high stress jobs have to have a really thorough training. Like, you can't just go be a soldier or a firefighter or a police officer or an EMT or anybody who has to do anything that has any kind of massive intensity to it without a lot of training. Because part of that training is learning how to engage your prefrontal cortex when the environment is dictating that you get into your lizard brain. I say all of this as a template here because Lune, recognizing amidst this fight that this thing may actually not be hostile, that perhaps we provoked it, is a level of awareness amidst chaos and adversity that is quite impressive. And this is when we talked about complementarity in the last episode. This is something that Lune absolutely brings to this environment. Like, Lune having the wherewithal to engage that amount of perception while we are actively being attacked is an asset. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know if she's right. She very well could be wrong and we could be in a dangerous situation, but we're seeing Gustav get really myopic. Paintress bad, anything I associate with Paintress bad, which tells me two things. Well, one thing, really, about two different events. Gustav has had two experiences that we know of where he engaged with a Paintress adjacent thing that was not hostile toward him. First was the guy, the big white bulbous dude who was like, I'm looking for the light. And the second one was the faceless man in Mael's apartment. And Gustav could have taken those two opportunities to create a new set of expectations around the world that he's in. Where he could have accommodated those experiences and basically like, well, okay, not everything's hostile. But we're seeing here that Lune, somebody he trusts, is initiating an idea that this is not a hostile being, kind of like Mael did with the faceless man. And Gustav is like, nope, Paintress, bad, evil, fight, kill. Which may be activated by the fact that Mael is with him, so he's got that sense of guardianship over him, as evidenced by the fact that he jumped in front of her to protect her when this thing attacked us. But he's not engaging in the higher level thought process that Lune is right now, which means that if I was some omniscient being, I'd be like, yo, we got to follow Lune's lead here because she's engaged in a way that Gustav's in his myopicness right now that's not really useful to us because we're out of the dangerous engagement. Anyway, just a little brain stuff going on here.
Putain!
No!
Damn, Maya, what was that?
It felt familiar somehow.
Gustave, we won't understand what's going on if we kill everything that moves.
Look, a red tree. The Gestural village must be ahead.
Yeah, she's right.
You know what Nevrons are capable of.
She'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Gustav, you become a freaking loose cannon, barrels pointed at you, fire away when Mael's involved. He loses some of his prefrontal cortex when she's around. It's an important thing to understand systemically. This is why the group of people that you're around and who you orient yourself to and how is a very important thing to understand when adversity strikes, because it can both be a boon and a constraint. Arguably, right now, Gustav's sense of protection is very one-track mind on making sure Mael is okay, is compromising the broader mission. And I could make the argument that as soon as they found Mael, now it's time for him to reconvene with Lune and be like, okay, we got Mael. Thanks for coming along with me. Now let's figure out what this means for the greater good, yada, 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 right? Like you can get back into that conversation about the mission because she was willing to be flexible. Well, now it's time for Gustav to have to lean into some flexibility here. Now it's time for me to open my idea, or I need to open my mind to the flexibility of, okay, let's figure this place out. If we're going to survive it, if we're going to get to the paintress, we need to know what's going on. I have two people right now in front of me that are slowing down and are willing to take inventory. Perhaps I need to follow and listen. So Lune calling that out, I give her a lot of credit for, because she's basically saying to him, when Mael's around, you're a loose cannon and we can't afford that. So knock it off. And hopefully he does something with that.
She'll be fine.
She is. Okay, now the danger that old Gustav's gonna run into here, and this is what I'm about to say is a very important thing. If you are a person watching this right now, that you would put the label caretaker on your identity, particularly if it's very high up on the list of identities, bring it in, because we're about to have a very important conversation from a systemic lens about what that means, because old Gustav here is going to go through some kind of existential crisis if he doesn't take a moment and take inventory on what that means. Gustav very obviously sees himself as Mael's caretaker. I got to make sure she's safe. I got to make sure she lives a fulfilling life, yada, yada, yada. All the things that anybody who's a caretaker ever says about the people they take care of. Now, being somebody who has an affinity for taking care of others, not a bad thing. That is a perfectly okay thing. I certainly encourage it. We all got to look out for each other. However, if that is an identity that you lean into basically no matter what, wrap almost your entire identity around to a point that when people show an affinity for autonomy, you're threatened, it's time to reevaluate that label. Because sometimes caretakers get so enveloped into that identity that their entire well-being, status, etc., is completely contingent upon being able to do just that. And so when people show, like Mael in this case, that she can survive this environment without him, that can be an absolute threat, not just to the label itself, but to your very core identity. And believe it or not, caretakers will sometimes get really hostile, or will try to push back on that and create environments where they have to help, or will confirmation bias themselves into the belief that that person still needs them. They just don't know it. And then that creates a push-pull mechanism in your dynamic where the people that you are thinking you're taking care of become very annoyed with you because you're not cultivating their autonomy and ability to solve their own problems. Where their well-being becomes a form of external validation for who you are. And that is not the responsibility of people you take care of to do. So people who lean into the label of caretaker also have to understand, one, you need to take care of yourself, and two, that sometimes your support and caretaking is what opens people up to the ability to gain skills to live their own life without needing you as a caretaker. And that doesn't mean that you are now worthless. It just means that your dynamic relative to those people is different. Perhaps it's more of like a peer type relationship, or it's one where they can also take care of you. I would be very interested to see if Gustav gets in a jam, how he handles Mael trying to take care of him, because sometimes that is seen as the ultimate threat to the caretaking personality or label. I don't really like the word personality there. Of if they have to take care of me, then I've failed not just as a caretaker, but as a person, and then that becomes a whole thing. So that label plus the need for external validation via people needing you can become really problematic, because Gustav is going to be so deeply focused on this and almost resentful toward the fact that Mael can take care of herself that he's going to seethe in a way that will not be helpful to him or the people around him. So word to the wise on that. It's a dynamic you see a lot. I know I'm talking directly to some viewers who carry that label. I'm also talking to people who have been in the unfortunate space of knowing somebody who is so deeply tied to the role of caretaker that they don't ever take care of themselves and also rely on you to be okay so that they're okay. You don't want that dynamic. You want to extinguish that dynamic. All right. A lot of the questions that you guys are asking are questions I don't know the answer to. I'd have to ask Gustav. Like, maybe. The answer to them is maybe. Like, maybe he's doing that because he hasn't had time to process the beach incident. I don't know. I don't know that I could get there totally. Maybe he's trying to protect Mael because he couldn't protect Sophie. Maybe. It's possible people do those things, but whether Gustav's doing it, that would be a great piece of assessment in watching the way that he reacts to that question. I mean, Mael could certainly be a proxy, but also, like, that's the thing, right? Is like if I would say it more in a broad sense. Like if Gustav very much sees himself as protector, caretaker, and he's watched people he loves die, and he couldn't prevent them from experiencing adversity, then sure, he might focus on the small pieces he has left where he can engage that identity profile. But that's where challenging the identity profile itself, I think, is more important than trying to find more things to take care of. Mael's nightmare. Oh, shit. Okay. Dr. Mick, what do dreams mean? I know there's people probably watching this that are asking questions, so I'm going to get out in front of it. We don't know. There is no consensus. Absolutely zero consensus on what dreams are, what they mean, why they matter, any of that stuff. Okay? As a therapist, The only utility that I ever find in dreams is what your reaction and conclusions you draw from them are. That's the only information that matters to me. The nightmare that Mael just had, the content of it is pretty much irrelevant to me, aside from what Mael would say about it. What does it mean to her that that's something that she sees in her nightmare? Did it evoke anything? Did it remind her of anything? Does it represent anything to her? That matters. But taking this idea that like dreams have some objective like truth to them, that if that exists, we don't know what it is. So dream interpretation is not like a legitimate like science or approach. It can be meaningful to people in the sense that like having some outside view on what your dreams might have patterning of and how it affects the way that you interface with the environment and stuff certainly could be helpful. But like the idea that somebody listens to what your dreams say and then they make this broad interpretation about what they mean, that's bullshit. It's not really a thing. So different people have different perspective on dreams. That's mine. So when I watch stuff like, I'm assuming we're going to see other people's nightmares with how big of a thing they made that. That is my general orientation toward dreams. The content of that doesn't matter to me. What Mael would say in response to it and how she might talk about it, that would matter to me, especially if we had a pattern of dreams that we could go through and like there's a pattern in the way that if she has 5 different dreams about 5 different things, but there are patterns in them, and then she keeps saying these dreams remind me of my relationship with my mother, the interesting part of that is that piece. Okay, so tell me, what about these things reminds you about your relationship with your mother? Why do you go there with that? What do you think that means? Are there things about your relationship with your mother that would be useful for us to go through? Like that kind of stuff is helpful.
Still too far.
Being out here isn't what I expected.
As expected. Hey. You okay?
Death out here is not like death in Lumiere, is it? I thought I was used to losing people. I've had a foster child, right? But not like that. On the beach, that man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Nevrons we were prepared for, but not. And now we've finally found other survivors, and it's... You know, that's the insidious thing about the Gommage. It's predictable, almost gentle. It makes Lumiere complacent and accepting, but... The Gommage is equally violent than death. Death is just as final.
I've been having nightmares.
Yeah, me too. Look, if death approaches, I want you to run.
Okay. I'm nitpicking. Okay? So before y'all blow me up, I'm nitpicking. He dropped the ball there. That was going really well. Very nice. They're both sharing a little bit about what's going on, getting a little existential, philosophical about things, sharing a moment of reflection about death and how all that stuff. Mael's not interested in that. When she says, I've been having nightmares. Oh, what kind of nightmares? Would be the better response. Okay. Now, I'm going to take an empathic route on this. I don't think this is Gustav being, a lame-o schlemo here. This is something that a lot of people do, but this is something I'm going to caution you. If you find that you are not particularly socially adept, or you struggle with connecting with people in social situations, get ready to take a few notes, because this is something I see a lot. There's a tendency for people to believe that if they share a similar experience of their own, that the person they're talking to will register that as empathy. While that may happen, the odds are not high that that will happen. So when she says, I've been having nightmares, and he says, me too, I'm sure that the sentiment he's trying to express is, yeah, you're not alone. That's okay. I'm experiencing them too. We're in this together. That's not what gets communicated. It might if you have a lot of familiarity, but curiosity is the route that you want to take here. You could talk about your nightmares in a minute, like just in a minute, but make this about her. She initiated the engagement. He didn't walk over to her tent and pull her out of it and go, what are you struggling with right now? She literally started this conversation and said, I've been having nightmares. Now, he could just go, okay, because if she wants to talk about it more, she could elaborate more. But the way you engage that is really like, what about? What have they been like? How's that been for you? How long has it been going on? Anything, but make it about her. And then when she says, oh man, I've been having this nightmare about this dude who kind of looks sort of like you, but not really, and the paintress, and I'm dirty, and even then ask questions about that. What do you make of that? Have you been having that nightmare a lot? Is this the first time? One of the best ways to open doors in a social engagement is to show curiosity and presence with the person that you are engaging with. As soon as you try to use a personal experience as a means to empathize and relate, you are rolling the dice. You are potentially invalidating that person. If this is an engagement that is going to extend beyond just a couple little bits of information, Mael might ask him, have you been having them too? Like maybe she feels enough of a presence and curiosity from him. She talks about it. He asks certain questions and she goes, oh man, it sounds like you've been having them too. Or you get towards the end of the conversation and maybe Gustav says, I've also been having nightmares, at a point where he's not hijacking it. So while the intention here is good, I think it is really important to try to get away from the habit of using an inductive means of empathizing with people and instead be curious about them. Now, the cool thing is if Gustav's been having nightmares too, he can use that as a pathway to empathy. So maybe Gustav has been having nightmares and he's been distressed by it. And when she turns and looks at him and says, I've been having nightmares, he might say, that sounds distressing. Maybe because that comes from a piece of his own experience. And maybe she goes, yeah, it is. Or maybe she goes, nah, I wouldn't say it's distressing, more confusing. But at least you're making an attempt to make it about her. If you engage to listen rather than engage to respond, you're going to ask better questions and you're going to have a better time interpersonal. So he dropped the ball there on that. He could have had she's sitting there and she's kind of stiffened up like, oh shit, now what do I do? Now do I push forward and go, Gustav, I need to talk about it, you dense. Or does she go, well, maybe he doesn't want to hear about it and now he just made it about him, so I'm going to shut up. There's just... And maybe it could be that now this is me going really far deep dive here, but maybe it could be that Gustav is averse to hearing about nightmares because it's not really something he can do anything about in terms of making it better for her. Because he wants to be this strong piece of solidarity for her, he doesn't want to engage that because he's worried that if he engages that, now he's not protecting her, he's enabling her fears or whatever. I mean, something people can get into that far if they're completely missing the mark. But that's him again, making it about him, not making it about her.
No, promise me. Run. Especially if we meet the man from the beach. We can't face him. You see him, you run.
My boy Gustav has some real work to do in his interpersonal relationships. She's gone, man. She's gone. Because this is exactly what I was talking about 15 minutes ago. Gustav thinks he's being helpful. He thinks he's taking care of her. This comes from a good place. Seriously, I'm not coming from a place on this of thinking that Gustav is being intentionally just dense. This comes from a good place. But if you're Mael here, all you're hearing him say is, I don't believe in your capacity to think for yourself and survive this without me telling you what to do. And her disengagement shows that. If she was engaged with this and she was like, what do you think, what do you think we should do? I feel so helpless. I don't have any direction. Like, she could advocate for herself in that way, and I'm sure he'd be happy to oblige and be like, okay, well, here's what I think we should do. She doesn't do that. She has survived to this point in the same way that he has. She has been as much of an involved party of this as he has. And so as soon as he engages this whole big brother, foster dad, whatever this is, he loses her because he's not meeting her at the core of where she is developmentally. This will push people away. If you are a person that cannot get out of your own way with the caretaking stuff, this will push the people that you want to take care of away from you. Also, there's a good chance, that Gustav is scared, and he's binding this to her by basically trying to get over his fear by being in control and appearing to be this bastion of, I know what to do, so here's what you do. But he's just as scared as she is. He knows just as much as she does. We're in this together. But yeah, he's lost her. You read the feedback there, he's completely lost her. And it's because he can't get out of his own way with what he thinks he is relative to her. And that's very frustrating when you show yourself to be a perfectly capable human. A lot of, where you typically see this in real life, by the way, is when you get into your mid-20s and 30s, and you get a job, and you're taking care of yourself, and you're ostensibly a contributor to society in a meaningful way. You have some level of expertise in whatever it is that you spend your time doing. And your parents or guardians just still treat you like you have no idea what you're doing, or will still try to tell you what to do or how to do it. And it's infuriating because you know what you're doing. You've survived up until this point. You no longer are under their thumb, and you've managed to make it work. That's the most common space that I generally see this kick people in the ass. There's many other ways you can too, but anyway. He lost her here.
Only if you do the same.
Oh, I'm running as soon as I see a strand of white hair, trust me. You won't even see me, I'm running so fast.
That's a good save.
Oh, please.
Dr. Mick, this is why you gotta let the conversations play out. I know that somebody's gonna say that. I'm gonna get out in front of this too. That was a great save. It's a very good piece of awareness from him that was actually bolstered by her. So everything he said there still holds true. She caught it, threw it back, and to his credit, he ran with it. He might have, the thing that he would have done that would have driven me crazy is if she said that to him and then he goes, no, Mael, I'm being serious. That would have been oh God, dude. Okay. The fact that she re-engaged that, threw it back at him, and he ran with it is good. That's a bit of growth there, and I'm going to give him credit for that. But the dynamic leading up until that point stays the same. Mael carried that. The ball was in her court. She could have just kind of kept looking away and been silent or whatever, and I'd have loved to have seen what he was going to do. But, credit given where credit's due, in addition to criticism. I go line by line on this because there's more to talk about. If I let these things play out until the very end, we miss a whole lot of cool stuff to talk about. Remember, this channel, I say this because I've been getting comments about this. This channel is about education. It's about helping you learn things that happen in real life that you might relate to in given moments. It's not about me just analyzing specifically what's happening in this game. So, just saying.
You're an old man. I can outrun you any day.
Yeah,
Nice.
right. There was a time when 30 was young, you know?
Sure.
That's nice. That's good. Rely on the relationship a bit. Oh boy. The faceless man. Guy's spooky, man.
Surprised to find you here.
I hope we can trust him.
Well, at least we can upgrade our pictos.
He did say he was gonna come to the camp. Curator offers you his services. Upgrade weapons, upgrade expedition resources. Let's see what's going on here. Curator can increase lumina points for each character and improve tints by increasing their potency. Adding a lumina point to a character costs 1 color of lumina. There's no limit to the amount of lumina points that a character can have. Improving tints requires special items. Each tint requires a different item. Improving tints increases their effectiveness. Each tint can only be used twice. Interesting. Curator can upgrade weapons. The list of available weapons of the current character is shown on the left of the screen. It can be sorted by power, by level, or alphabetic. Weapons are the main source of attack power. Passive effects from weapons can't be learned as Lumina and are only active with weapons equipped. Weapons also scale their damage from some of your attributes. For example, a weapon that scales with agility means that the more agility a character has, the more damage the weapon will deal. Healing power is defined by the associated letter ranking D to an S. Curator can upgrade your weapons using chroma catalysts. Upgrading weapons increases their attack power and attribute scaling and can unlock new passive effects that are at specific rarity levels. Weapons of different qualities require different chroma catalysts to be upgraded. Oh. Boy. Polished chroma catalyst. Upgrade them. Okay. Not really say I'm particularly interested in doing that yet. Thanks, man.
Told you Gestrels were real.
You did not.
Well, I thought it.
How did the Gestrels survive out here?
I'm not sure.
I can't wait to ask them. Gestrels?
Just I wonder if that means that something else will show up in each hall. Dude, that thing is so cool. He's like if Voldemort and a Dementor had a baby and then got old and lost its face.
Been a long time since I've seen you play.
A gestural village.
Yeah. I still can't believe they exist. I mean, what other fairy tales are real?
This is ultimately a war of information. There's still too much we don't understand. Where the paintress comes from? Why she does what she does? Who is she? 70 years and we still barely know anything.
And the man on the beach? Yeah, too many unknowns. But if we take down the paintress, at least that gives future generations a chance to unravel the mystery.
You seem better than before.
Yeah. Holding it together. Shock's worn off. A bit. We can't bring anyone back. But I thought we can keep their spirit alive by pushing forward. And at least there's 3 of us now. The mission hasn't changed.
Tomorrow comes.
Wonderful. Good. Again, credit given where credit's due. Good for Gustav. He's had time. This is why time is such an important thing. Take time, you integrate information, you figure out what it means, and then you focus on controlling what you can control, and that's what he's doing. Now, he got his way, he got Mael, that's fantastic. So that's awesome, and I appreciate Luna recognizing that. I'm sure it probably means a lot to him that she did. Now, I'm not trying to pour gas on a little piece of kindling here, but I do think, maybe not right here, but I do think that there's a conversation that if you want to be really effective toward changing the system itself, that I think you have to do. Which is that I think Lune could say here, Gustav, I really appreciate that you have figured this out. I'm glad that you see the mission. I am glad that we got Mael back. Good to see you this way. I would, however, like to talk to you about a dynamic that I have now seen could happen, which is that I need to know that I can trust that we're going to talk things out properly if you get activated. You get stuck on something that you think is important. I saw you willing to toss the mission there in order to chase something that was personally important to you. And while I can appreciate that, and I chose to follow you on that, that gets chaotic if it keeps being a thing. So how do I know that we're going to figure out how to be on the same page if the opportunity presents itself to divert again? And I would say that that's a perfectly legitimate conversation to have with him. I think it's something he has to be accountable for recognizing. You're right. I did. I said, fuck the mission, straight up. And now here I am saying, okay, we can do the mission now that I got my way. You're right. Mael was an exception to that. Saw that that was something I had an affinity for. Yes. When something happens, if it requires immediate attention, we'll get through it in the way that we have up until this point. But when we have a point to pause, or if we have a moment to talk about it, yeah, let's make sure that all 3 of us are on the same page. And I do think it's important that they look at it as all 3 of them being on the same page instead of it being the 2 of them plus Mael. Mael is younger than them, sure, but she's shown herself to be just as competent and perceptive. So I don't, that's an explosive conversation if Gustav isn't ready to hear it. But I do think that that would be meaningful for them in terms of facilitating a degree of second order change in their system and in their dynamic, so that it's more accommodating to explicit conversations about how to proceed rather than the argument that they had 3 episodes ago.
Tomorrow comes.
Dr. Mick, why can't you just let him have a good moment? You can. And also, avoiding hard topics because it would make things uncomfortable often leads to people never talking about hard topics. There's never a great time to do those things. But if it's a necessary conversation, you gotta have it. Spending some time writing in my journal. He writes about how the arm they created for him was incredibly useful against the water-type Nevrons. He hopes that one day his apprentices will read everything he wrote.
For those who come after.
Ustaz at the back. Remember the current objective. Find the Gestral village in the middle of the ancient sanctuary and find a way to cross the sea. Go to sleep. Oh shit. Back in the... Alright. Ancient sanctuary.
Did Noko tell you anything more about the village, other than red trees everywhere?
Noko's not great with specifics.
We'll just have to think like Gestrals then.
Ice, shut! Take cover!
Whoops. Oh, I thought I hit that time. Alright.
Yeah.
2400 XP. Weapon upgrade. Cool. Lost yesterday. Oh, what, me? I'm not lost at all. Though I should get back to Sastro sometime soon. Yeah, I'm lost. I need to get to Sastro, but it isn't exactly safe here. You can stay at our camp if you like. Really? Yes. Be back at the camp, and I'll call for Sastro in the meantime. Alright. Can I go places? Alright, we're gonna go off the beaten path for a minute. Ski's Nest. Are you friend or foe, my guy? Oh, hi, little humans. You need the password to enter. Why? You'll have to ask Golgra. I just stand here. Golgra never tells me anything. Let me through. Alright. Fine. take this though.
Well, that will help.
I like the music. It's like Zelda. They have like clever ways of not letting you get past stuff. Explore a little bit here. What that thing's all about after I go kill these.
A storm is coming.
En garde! Gustav, don't die!
Oops. Dude, I screw that up every time.
En garde! Finesse and precision!
Ah, Lance. Level 6? Ooh. Alright, do that. Works. It's just so many.
Well, that will help.
What did I get? Let's see what this thing on the beach is. You there, traveling salesman. Hi, you humans. Care for a good deal? Well, can I fight him? A haircut for Gustav, an outfit for Mael, an outfit for Gustav. We can cut Gustav's hair. Why not? Gustav, let's take a look at you, bud. Chop that hair. Doesn't look any different. But clean him up a little bit. Oh, look at this. What's this? $500 haircut. Holy crap. We got a big boy over here. Oh, we got another guy on the beach. We got all these like salesmen on the beach. You are hostile. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Oh, I thought I had that parry. Oh.
I'm ready. Finesse and precision. Guard up.
A storm is coming.
No, no. I didn't want to do that.
Let's spill some ink.
I probably should. Oh, I forgot to jump. Oh, what?
Not looking good.
Timing on that's a little weird.
I'm better.
For those who come after.
Oh, that didn't do shit.
I can do it.
Oh, come on. I hit that. It's like you have to wait until it's right on
for those who come after.
21,000 XP, good God. Apply powerful for 3 turns when revived. Upgrade weapons up to level 9. Can we continue to give additional movement point to the character? Wow, we got a lot of stuff there.
Interesting.
That's 2 chromatic enemies in a row defeated on the first try. Is that good? We hurting though. I gotta get revived. Hey, another salesman. You got any potions? Hi, humans, care for a good deal? Let's see, what do you got? Find a missing expeditioner to unlock this item shop. Oh, okay. So there's more people that we're gonna find in the game. Music record, music camp, haircut from Lune. Ta-ta. Oh, I guess I can just go to camp. And I can learn lots of skills because I got a lot available here. Strike Storm. Let's go. Well, you got 3, you got 7. Good. Upgrade attributes. 9 available. Oh. Bunch of glass cannons here. All right, and we're back.
That's a lot of red trees to search.
They must have some sort of track or trail leading to the village.
Wait, I hear something. It might be Nevrons. Be careful, okay?
Okay, Gustav, we'll be careful. We weren't going to be careful till you said that, so I'm really glad you said that. All right, friends, we'll check out the Redded Forest grassland area in part 6. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day or night to watch this playthrough. I hope that my discussion of the various dynamics between party members is meaningful in some way. Do leave a comment, a thumbs up, and all that fun stuff. appreciate your engagement. Check out my other playthroughs while you wait for the next episode to come out. If you are binging, I'll see you in the next episode right here. If you're waiting for it to come out, we'll get it out as soon as we can. I appreciate you all immensely. You matter. See you in the next one.